I'm going to cut the intro music sooner. We are live here on Sunday night, November 30th. The Geaux Team. We've got Daniel here hosting you tonight, and we've got down the river, we got Chip tonight. Chip, how are you doing tonight?
Really good.
Really good?
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
For those of y'all who listened to our last episode, you know that Zombie Bob is the joke is that he's always on the other side of the transatlantic cable. Tonight, he actually is on the other side of the transatlantic cable. He is in Vienna somewhere, day one of a 2-week-long European vacation. Talk about picking the worst possible time to go on a European vacation. Am I right, Chip?
Yeah, because if you're as good as you thought you were, you're going to be in the playoffs, and you would have just missed that. It's crazy.
You missed the SEC championship game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to be one of the four fighting for it. That's for sure.
He's also the same guy who scheduled his wedding in 1997, the day of the SEC championship game. So Zombie Bob, he's a wedding during football season type of guy.
Man,
he's gonna give me shit when he listens to this. We'll be asleep. I don't know how many hours ahead Vienna is, but when he hears this tomorrow morning, he is gonna give me shit. I will wake up to several text messages from him tomorrow. Listen here, motherfucker, is what he's gonna start it off with.
Well,
Chip, did you ever think we would actually utter the words that Lane Kiffin is officially the LSU head football coach?
the thought first crossed in my mind in 2016. But
Yeah,
no.
but did you think you'd actually get there?
No. There's a couple of guys that I remember in 2016 saying how great of a hire it'd be if we hired Lane Kiffin that are now shitting on LSU for hiring Lane Kiffin and shitting on Lane Kiffin for going to LSU. It's crazy. Like, I mean, obviously they didn't think he was that good then, obviously, but it is. I don't know. It's just we just became. I didn't think it was possible to hate us any more than people already hated us, and I think it's quadrupled over the last week or so, and then quadrupled again last night.
Oh, absolutely. Well, here's the way I reconcile that. We were already with Brian Kelly. We were already the most hated team in college football because, like I've said many times on this program, every time we lost with Brian Kelly, what I wasn't used to prior to Brian Kelly being the head coach at LSU was when we lost, we were dealing with our own personal feelings. But then in the last 4 years, every time we would lose, the national media would just pile on us because of Brian Kelly. And so I'm used to it now at this point. At least we'll be fucking entertained is how I view it now. So I'm okay to be the villain.
I get, like you said, like I know you're like, no, that's not true. We've always been kind of disliked. I mean,
I don't agree with that. With Ed Orgeron, we were beloved.
I mean, they were, but I just remember them making fun of his voice the whole time.
Yeah, that was like a bit, but they still loved him. We made fun of his voice all the time. G Moose
ours, I didn't.
G Moose says it takes Zombie Bob to leave the country for us to finally get a coach, I guess. Grant, shout out Grant. We're working on getting you that contract to get you moved over. Just like LSU pulled Lane Kiffin from a rival, we're working on pulling Grant from a rival podcast to this one. So Grant, our agent will be in touch. Maybe we'll get Verge to get a hold of you to see if we can hammer out some details for you.
The closer.
And G Moose says the crying and bitching on Twitter over all of this, you'd think Trump got reelected or something.
It's not as bad as that. It's close though. I mean,
and he says they were making fun of us and Ed. I guess I'm talking about like the Pardon My Take Barstool guys. And Scott Van Pelt, those guys.
those guys have always been kind of those guys are going to probably like us again. Like
Pot of Gold says we will boo Grant as he hops on his bike leaving the studio. Grant just signed with Sexton. Apparently, this is going to be very difficult to get Grant.
He's going to push the number up.
Hey, Grant, you know Zombie Bob's a guy who doesn't mind, paying a little bit extra for things. So if we get Zombie Bob's not happy with me hosting the show and trying to work the ones and twos as well. So Zombie Bob's ready for some upgrades.
Back to the hate. It's at an all-time high. It was always there. I promise you. Because I see that shit. I know. I like. I'm not even sensitive to it. Like I just know it. So I've been to more places than you have when it comes to away games.
Yeah, so, I mean, but everybody hates everybody.
I mean, I don't. Like not the other.
Okay, you know what? I know what you're saying, but the part that irks me is the whole every time one person on ESPN says something negative, because ESPN does this shit where it's all their shows. So like they'll have two guys and one side of the argument versus the other side of the argument. And so Tiger Droppings takes the one guy who's his job to be contrarian and say something negative, says something negative, then ESPN hates us. So I get annoyed by that when it's just the format of the show.
I have facts. So
but like, what was I saying the other day? What were we watching? And I was like, this is Marty Smith. We were talking about it 2 nights ago. It was overkill. It was overkill the other night.
That guy is a fucking loser.
Elaine, you found yourself here in Oxford. Please stay. Please stay.
That's one of the guys that claimed there was nooses in NASCAR or something like that. It was one of them. I forget if it was Formula One or NASCAR.
I'm not touching that subject. With that in mind,
obviously it was to pull the thing down by the fucking.
It was a rope pull on a garage door. I may or may not have followed NASCAR at one point in my life.
Yeah.
And
crazy. That dude's
crazy to think.
That dude. I mean, he's obviously pushed to think that way, but yeah,
you just set me up for a terrible segue here, because the first topic of the night that I have is a formal apology to Verge Osbury. Boy, if we could do some cold takes exposed, if you go back and watch some old episodes of this show throughout this year, I've got some very cold takes about Verge Osbury and how terrible of how terrible he is. How I think I even said the Peter principle, that he has failed his way upwards.
Yeah.
Or he's been promoted to a point and now he sucks. I definitely look like a fool now when it comes to Verge. And Verge, I apologize. I texted Cassidy earlier, Chip, and I said I'm gonna handwrite an apology letter to Verge and mail it to his office and say, I talked a lot of shit about you for 10 years. We have people in this program wishing death upon his kids. Do you remember that? Former person on this podcast. It's not on this podcast anymore. Wished death upon one of his children that's at Notre Dame. Yeah, there were some very bad takes on this show. Very bad takes.
It's valid. No, I'm just joking.
Wishing death upon his children was a terrible take that me and you denounced at the time.
Can he get his ass back here now? Can we? I mean, this is
Hey, I got a story about that later. I'm already getting in trouble. I got my first. That's Mark in the comments saying I'm looking like Scone with a company hat on. I do have a funny story tonight, Chip. What if I told you I've been in this house for less than a week and I already got a friendly reminder from my HOA? Me of all guys got a friendly reminder from the HOA.
What was it?
I got 3 vehicles right now. Okay. And because we got boxes in the garage, because we're fucking moving, we can't park 2 cars in the garage. So there's a side parking spot where my primary vehicle is parked. And so I put my truck on the road so that way we wouldn't have to play musical chairs with the cars. It was only there for 24 hours. And I got an email, a friendly reminder about how parking on the road is not prohibited.
It's a good thing. It takes away from congestion. You got to set the tone. Your new person.
Yeah, so me of all people have already within 24 hours have gotten a friendly reminder from the HOA.
I mean, I'm okay with the non-parking in the street. It's non-parking in the street.
No. I wasn't planning on parking there permanently. And they were like, listen, the trash, and their side of the story was the trash truck comes tomorrow and I'm at the end of a street. And so that where I had the truck parked is where the trash has to turn around.
That's
so
valid.
It's valid.
It is. That means they got their shit together if they got you in like one day, though. That's a good sign.
Yes, they said they only brought it to my attention because trash tomorrow morning.
And you know what?
All's
I think
fair. I moved it. We're all good.
They brought up the reason why. I think that's good. Well done on their part.
Okay, so we got a couple comments here. We got Fearless Leader. So Frank to recruiting coordinator and maybe associate head coach, team uncle, head coach, culture consultant.
I'm okay with all those terms with him. I mean, he's a staple at LSU. Obviously, I don't like telling a coach who to hire, but I think Lane would have hired him anyways.
One more thing on Verge. G Moose says the first AD to actually come through for us and get the best football hire on the market, and we didn't have to settle for number 4 or number 5. Thank God, because there was no plan B. And Moscona on his show tonight admitted that board of supervisors, yeah, he's alive right now. And he said that their board of supervisors, right, they admitted to him that they don't have a solid plan B.
Well, listen, you got to give compliments to everybody that played a part. I don't know exactly everybody. I know the most people that were involved in it. But kudos to all of them for everybody at that in the front house, everybody, good job on boss. I'm overly critical of them. They all were in synchronization. They knew their guy and they went and got him.
Yeah.
First in a while that's happened at LSU. I don't remember it ever happening. I mean, I think Archer, that was a different time. I think Archer was one guy and they had him in the sights and that was it. I think Joe Oliva got Johnny Jones was one guy in the sight. Not that.
Does that count though? Like settling for somebody doesn't count.
For sure. I wanted Johnny Jones over what we had at the time, so I was really excited about Johnny. Someone who gave a shit, but he was a little. He was a little.
Johnny Jones wasn't bad for his first 3 years.
4, right?
I thought he was there 4 total. I could be wrong.
13, 14, 15, and 16.
So 5 years?
13. Well, 11 and 12. So
but we're not here to talk about Johnny Jones.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, football wise, absolutely.
Let's talk about this morning. Let's go back to this morning. So we wake up this morning. There's supposed to be a 9 o'clock meeting. Okay. And then the meeting gets pushed back. What were your thoughts at that time?
At that point, like, I'll be honest. I know I had, and this is not me walking back. Listen, I'm a, what's the word? Drawing X's on your leg. What do you call that? Wearing your hat backwards, rally cap. You don't want to switch things up. What do they call that? I can't think of
the rally guy.
No, like wearing the same shirt every time. Not what's
superstitious. Okay,
superstitious. I'm very superstitious, and I believe in the jinx. So I'm always the guy who's going to say, I'm not going to say 100%. I'm going to probably usually go 50-50 or lower. I thought he was coming since probably, there you go, Moose. I thought he was probably coming around last Wednesday. Not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before when I first started hearing it. Because I didn't think, logical, and I think everyone had mostly a good feeling. They're kind of like me. They didn't want to jinx it. like Gabriel.
But then I'm going to call you out then, Chip. Then why did you go 35% as your prediction all this week?
Jinx it to push it in our way. I was probably like 75.
So you weren't giving us your true commentary then.
Well, it's for the love of LSU though. I'm not gonna.
You sacrificed your credibility for the love
absolutely.
of LSU is what you're telling us.
I don't care what people think of me. Like that is, I'll tell you, I'll, you know what? From now on, I'll be like, listen, I'm gonna say 35. My feeling is it's a done deal. For about a week, I've thought it was a done deal. If you just read the tea leaves, if you listen to, by the way, I don't know these people. I think they're good. They're very good. But tigerbait.com, man, if you're not following them, you gotta go. It's worth the $4 when it comes to coach and church. Those guys are on their shit. So if you really want to, we have a couple inside people for sure that would be in the know who are also telling us it was a done deal. That person actually told us we were going to get him a month and a half ago. So with the first day it opened.
And I told him he was crazy on this show. He commented on this show. And he was in the chat and he said it's going to be Kiffin. And I'm like, well, how do you get Kiffin? And he's like, A, you offer him more money, and then B, you make him sign. But actually, it turned out that they didn't make him sign.
They played it perfect.
They played it perfect. They played it that
we're the good guys.
Go win a national championship, and we'll let you come afterwards. So it was the opposite strategy. It was everything that I was concerned about, that we were leaving ourselves high and dry. But it worked. There wasn't a plan B because we were going all in and we weren't going to take no for an answer. And it worked out. Kudos to Verge. Kudos to Verge.
Guys, all of them. Like they both did great. Kudos to Verge. You got to give him his credit.
And I'm going to throw this comment back up there. Fearless leader. My money is on Verge to get Will Wade back. I fucking hope so. And I know we're 7-0 in basketball. I don't care. I told this to another person who texted me last night about the LSU basketball team. At this point, McMahon's a proven loser to me. Yes, he might have a good season this year, but I'd rather bring back Will Wade.
Of course. Sorry. Of course. And yeah, they are good this year. Very talented.
Line up LeBlanc says y'all got our man. We got our man. Line up LeBlanc. We're all in this together. And then Chance says, "What's up, fellas?" Tonight in the chat. Chance, thanks for being back with us. And G Moose says it was a bold strategy, Cotton. It was. But kudos to Verge. That's why they supposedly hired Verge, is because Verge had these contacts.
But that's what I say to everybody. Good on all of them. They knew to hire Verge. I didn't want to hire Verge. I've seen the way we've been scheduling, man. It seems like we're always a wounded duck going into the season. But maybe
Verge is just a bad scheduler, but he's really a people person.
You know what? He can schedule whatever the fuck he wants from here on out. I don't. Verge can probably do no wrong when it comes to me now, unless he's got to do something really bad. Steady hand Verge.
Now I don't care who we schedule. If we've got Lane Kiffin, we're going to be good on offense.
That fucking sucks for everyone else, by the way.
Yes. Alabama fans are shit.
Dude, how much did that fist pump going out of the car when he's driving down there? Did you see that video?
Yes. But okay, so wait, we've got a lot of stuff and I kind of put it in an order to keep us all the thoughts together. So, at 9:00 when they moved the meeting, at first it was like 8:30. They moved the meeting from 9:00 to 1:00. I was like, something's going on. Maybe Ole Miss is trying to make a last ditch effort to keep them. So that was the one point today I was a little concerned, because going back to what you said, I wasn't confident a week ago like you were, because I thought there was 3 teams in the race. So you only had a 33% chance. But then when Dellinger had that article earlier this week, on Tuesday of, before Thanksgiving, when he said that Florida's out of it, Ole Miss is starting to consider looking other places. That's when I felt really good. I'm like, if Ross Dellinger's saying it, he clearly doesn't want to stay at Ole Miss. I feel really good about that. And that's why I was 75% up until today. But when they moved the meeting the players meeting from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock today. I'm like, oh fuck, is Ole Miss trying to make a last minute thing here? But that only lasted for like 30 minutes before they reported that it was the Ole Miss administration who wanted to meet with the players first. And that's the once I found that out, I was like, okay, this is a done deal. We got this now. I do think it's a shitty move on Ole Miss's part to not let him speak to the team.
Well, they're communists. Like I've always said, Ole Miss are a bunch of fucking communists. Fucking communists. Yeah. But have you seen the video of it? One of the football players filmed it. It's really weird. It's really weird. You could tell that. Well, they don't really know the athletic director as well as they claim to be. The best athletic director ever, according to Ben Mintz, which I think is absolutely. I think Verge is the best athletic director ever. But
I think Keith Carter should be fired the way he handled this.
Absolutely, it was it was very Joe Oliva-ish.
Yes, it was very Joe. You know, they pressed the issue, but then they didn't press the issue. They gave him 2 weeks. So like they gave him the deadline of last week, but then they let the deadline pass. And then he basically told him, I'm leaving. They forced him out because they wanted to find a new coach. And then they missed out on everybody and had to settle for Pete Golding.
Well, like Nick Saban says, first, you got to know who you are. You got to know where you were, and you got to know where you want to be. I think they know who they were. I think they know where they want to be, but I don't think that if you don't know the middle part, you won't get to the front part, the good part. And they don't know who they are, obviously. They think they're better than what they are. They fucking think they're fucking blue bloods, which is fucking nuts. Excuse my language. Sorry if you have kids. But, like, those people are insane. Not all of them, but most of them.
Yeah. It's, as Chance said, Keith and Lane were yoga buddies. And I think Keith kind of got played by Lane. Like, if you knew that so now they're all calling Lane like this scumbag. Well, you hired the guy. You knew he was a scumbag. And like, you didn't care while he was winning football games that he was a scumbag. You embraced it. But now all of a sudden you're mad that you just found out he's a scumbag. But you should have known that the whole time and prepared for these scenarios so that you didn't have to settle on Pete Golding. And the only reason you settled on Pete Golding was because if you didn't hire him, he was coming to Baton Rouge too. And you wouldn't have a coaching staff for the playoffs. That's the only reason they hired him. So they should have just let Lane coach the playoffs. And I know a lot of people think that they shouldn't do that, but you're in a worse situation. You're losing recruits. You're losing your coaching staff or half of your coaching staff. Now you don't have a coach moving forward. I mean, well, you do, but you don't. And so you would have been better off just letting him coach the playoffs. You'd still have those recruits. They'd be signing on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever signing day is. And you'd still have the whole coaching staff together.
I think scumbag, obviously I know you don't mean that. They think he's a scumbag, obviously, but
I don't care if he is.
All good college football coaches have been a scumbag before, and because you got to lie, you got to be a chameleon, you gotta withhold information. It's not. You know how to be a salesman. You gotta be. You got to kind of fib a little bit, and yeah, I get it that they're calling him a scumbag. Do I think he's an actual scumbag? No, I don't. I think he's selfish, like every good college football coach is.
Well, can I say that I think Nick Saban's probably a scumbag, and I would take him in a second?
Yeah, but definition of scumbag, I know what you're saying. I don't think scumbag is the right word. I think self-absorbed, probably.
A narcissist.
You gotta be. If you want to be great, you gotta be.
Those guys that achieve on those high levels like that, man, they're just wired different than me and you.
Yeah, you have to be. And
yes.
My dad's not a nice guy. I mean, he is, but he's not. Like,
for those of y'all who know Chip's dad, he's an absolute gem. They don't make human beings like that anymore. I don't care what Chip says.
My dad on the track.
And coach, if you're watching tonight,
my dad was not the dad won 20s plus state championships.
Yeah, when he's coaching somebody, he's a dick. But that's what you do when you're coaching.
But that's probably all of them. Yes. Obviously, there's a person that you're close with that got cussed out by him. I know a person that cussed out by Nick Saban. He's abrasive for sure. And yeah, a normal person wouldn't do that. But these are not normal people is what I'm trying to say.
Chip, how do you feel about this? Geaux Team, have fun covering the Ho Team.
We'll change the name. I will cover any team.
That's not a bad idea. We can change the name to the Ho Team.
You could call me whatever you want. Louisiana trash. I've been called it all day, bro. I don't fucking care. I
sent Chip a video earlier. I stole this from Tiger Droppings. We need to bring back the Pimp Nation. Remember the LSU Pimp Nation from 20 years ago? That we need to bring back the pimps. There was a bunch of those dudes. I'm pretty sure my cousin's best friends were in that group too. I need to talk to him about that. And we need to bring those back and make sure I will help pay to get those guys to Oxford because they will freaking hate it. Lilo says we need to change our name to the Ho Team. The Lame Train has arrived. The Lane Train has arrived in Baton Rouge. And G Moose says, yeah, Tiger Pimp Nation was the name of the group.
Dude, I remember those guys at Alabama in 2005.
They were around for a while.
Yeah. We've lost.
They all got old. They got old.
For sure. They all, they were.
Because they were like 10 years older than us.
They're definitely from the Zalmans. They're definitely from.
They're from down on the river somewhere.
Yeah, they're good people.
G Moose knows he thinks 2 of them died. Sorry.
Oh fuck. Well, that's
there was like 80 of them. There was a bunch of them.
Yeah, they seemed awesome, and the couple times I interacted with them, they were wonderful.
They have a great opportunity to bring that group back and just piss off Ole Miss fans to no end. So I got to get back to this one. Who all is going to hot yoga? I can guarantee you tomorrow every hot yoga class in Baton Rouge is booked. I do know that Lane Kiffin, when Ole Miss plays here, the last 2 times they played here, the morning of the game, he went to the place on Highland right by the South Gates. I don't know the name of it, but I remember he posted a picture because it's the shopping center next to Drunken Fish. Or it's not Drunken Fish anymore, is it? But you know what I'm talking about? Fat Cow.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's Fat Cow. Fat Cow's been there for a while.
Fat Cow's probably gone too. I don't know. Whatever that shopping center is.
And they pop in and out like crazy these days.
Yeah.
They're there for a couple cycles of college and then done. I think man, I'm elated right now, guys. It's hard for me to
Ronnie Turner again says Lame is scared to win a natty. It will be fun watching him bail out on you. Ronnie, I want to pose a question to you. Okay.
You weren't winning a natty. Ole Miss will. I promise you, they will never win a natty. And I know never say never. They will never win a natty. You can afford this.
No, wait. He says he is a corn dog. Never mind. I'm a corn dog with Tennessee mustard. I don't think he is a. All right, so I'm going to pose. If he is an Ole Miss fan, I'm going to pose this question. If you're an Ole Miss fan, Chip, what's worse, when LSU wins a national championship with the worst coach in your school's history, or if LSU wins a national championship with your best coach that we stole from you?
When you win 11-1.
When you win 11-1, best season ever in the playoffs, we took them from you, and then we're probably going to win a natty in the next few years, or 2, or 3, maybe more.
You got to think, and you got to know. You got to know where you were, got to know where you are, and you got to know where you want to be. You can't forget where you are. And
I said it.
In Ole Miss, since their bad season, they have had. We won't say. I'm not going to go there.
G Moose, no SEC championship game for them or for A&M. Chip was mad at me 2 nights ago because I was rooting for A&M. But now that the dust is settled, don't you agree, Chip?
Yeah,
you're happy about it.
What's happened? I don't know what you had. You gave me this. Let me look and see.
Well,
I
so
just wanna,
I can keep going down the list.
okay.
I'll keep steering us in the right direction.
I wanted to
Lilo asked a question about one of the things that we're going to get to here in a second. Oh well, my next thing on the list was okay. So the meeting gets pushed back. Lane's not allowed to meet with the team, so then he has to just leave. Okay.
mhm.
So then timeline of today. Lane's leaving Oxford. He's getting on the plane. I know you've seen the video. Can we
Fuck
put
you. Oh yeah.
the
That's,
Ole Miss fans on the tarmac? I
yeah.
have watched that video probably 40 times today. Wait, is that Charlie? No, no, it's Charlie. Oh no, it's Coach Weiss. Fuck you. I've watched that video 40 times and I die laughing every time
It's
because
awesome.
in the 15-second clip, they go from no idea knowing which guy it is to just complete absolute meltdown within 15 minutes. And that is the Ole Miss fan base in a nutshell. That's how they've always been. That's how they will always be.
They did a 30 for 30 on the I think that was the 1963 race riot there. I think that was all their grandkids and great grandkids there, so it makes sense. Those were I've seen those people before. uh,
Yes.
I have to mention that every time. Ole Miss, you want to shit on us for some dude paying for paying a children's hospital? Yeah, that's fucked up, of course. But that wasn't the whole entire school. This is a stain that'll never. That was a stain that'll never leave you. So, and yes, and those people are the family members of those people. So, I know my dad's a Mississippi guy, man. He hates Ole Miss, and he has told me that they are, fuck Ole Miss. Fucking hate Ole Miss. This is awesome. All you people suck. You suck at life. You deserve every bit of this. I can't wait till you lose your in the first game of the playoff to fucking Tulane or whoever you play. I don't know who you're gonna play. Actually, you're probably gonna get a shitty draw because Lane left, and you should. You shouldn't even make it because you're trash. Your people, all your fans are trash. Y'all dress like you're all prim and proper, but all y'all are is a bunch of white trash, white women that drink too much wine, that drive Tahoes, and then you're trash. Mississippi State's a better place than you'll ever be. You suck. I hate you. I hate everything about you. I don't want you to die, but you can fuck off. You suck.
I can't wait for them. Well, first off, they kept Pete Golding because he's such a great recruiter, but yet they've already lost 3 commitments. An hour after Lane Kiffin leaves, they've already lost 3 commitments. But hey, he's a great recruiter.
Yeah. You're 3 steps. I mean, they're 3 steps away from like if they could have had a bazooka today to shoot down that plane, they would have. They're fucking. They're terrorists.
Listen,
they're terrorists. They're awful. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they were, and they don't know where they want to be. They suck ass. They're every. That's why he wanted to leave there because that place sucks.
Lineup LeBlanc says, what do y'all think? What do you guys think about the DM screenshots that are magically surfacing today? This is the Ole Miss fan base in a nutshell. They were celebrating these things. Yeah, look at our coach. He's hitting on all our co-eds yesterday. And now they're like, oh, what about this? And like throwing it out there like it's a bad thing. So they're celebrating one thing one day. And now they're condemning his DMs today.
Was he married then?
No, he hasn't been married the entire time he's been there.
Do whatever he wants. Like, you're a fucking loser. Like, go do. Okay. You jilted lovers? Good Lord. Get over yourself.
Okay, so Ronnie, I have a question. Where do you think if you think he's leaving LSU, where do you think he's going? A legitimate question. What program do you think he's leaving LSU to go to? Because I don't think there is one. When you're a top 3 job, top 5 job in college football, there's only a handful of places that he would go. And he's not a fit for Ohio State. He's not going to Ohio State. Alabama, why would he go to Alabama? There's nothing that that Alabama offers that LSU doesn't. It doesn't make sense. So he's not leaving LSU.
It makes sense. They're not logical people. These are communists. They dress in the same clothes during their games. It's weird. It's a cult. It's very Texas A&M-ish. And I do have friends that I like that go there. I like Ben Mintz, even though he doesn't think proper. He's not. There's something wrong with those people.
If Chant says Lane will surpass Saban at LSU, but he never will at Alabama. Exactly. Case in point, why he will not go to Alabama. If he
Too much
hires
parity in
Orgeron
this day and
Lane,
age. Too much
if
parity in this day and age.
if he hires Orgeron, Lane and O will have to fight over the college girls. Hey, Coach O's a happily married man now. I bet they can all get an open invite to practice. I actually texted a friend of ours who is very close friends with Ed Orgeron, and I said I want a status update on where Orgeron is like right now. And he has not replied to me, and then my text was an hour ago.
I think what's your favorite tweet you've seen today? My favorite tweet was when there was a lady who said, "I'm a good person." When you have to announce that you're a good person and then critique somebody, you're not a good person. You're actually an ignoramus. So
Ronnie Turner again says Lane is a great strategist. He is a child playing a video game with no character or maturity. But this wasn't a problem for you guys for 6 years. That's what I don't understand. Y'all celebrated the guy for 6 years. And y'all can't be mad that he did these things because everybody in college football, a guest of this program that we've had on, Big Orange Mac, I guarantee you he would say these things 6 years ago that he's still saying today because he saw it at Tennessee. You hired him knowing this. But again, LSU's a top 3 job in college football. No offense to Tennessee, like Tennessee. I'm a fan, semi-fan.
good fans.
Ole Miss, Tennessee are not on the same playing field in 2025 that LSU is. You know why? Because as soon as he got off the plane, who was the first person to meet Lane Kiffin at the LSU football ops? The number 1 recruit in the entire country.
Better than any recruit you've ever gotten at Ole Miss.
And oh, by the way, we didn't have a head coach, and the guy was still committed here.
You got 2 of those guys, by the way, sitting right in your backyard, those D linemen. That's how you win football. You win in the trenches.
Jeff Jones says, Ronnie Turner, big mad in the comments. Lane is all about him. Some Lane pure narcissist. Guess what? Nick Saban was our coach before. You know what Nick Saban was? A narcissist. And you know what? He's a damn good football coach. I did see, since we've been on the program, Chance, that Kentucky fired Stoops.
I saw that.
His players are cheering for their new coach. Well, what do you expect Ole Miss to put out the video of when the players were like, no, we want Coach Kiffin to stay? Okay, so Ronnie, why do you think that the administration did not they met with Lane Kiffin. I mean, they met with the players before Lane Kiffin could. And why do you think they wouldn't let Lane Kiffin meet with the players? Because they knew that there were some players that still wanted Lane Kiffin there. So, yes, I'm sure the defensive players are pumped up that their coordinator is still going to be there.
Yeah,
But
he seems all sets of he seems like a good coach. I mean, he definitely knows what he's doing. Do I think he's going to be Lane Kiffin? No, I don't.
Yeah. And G Moose says Lamar was recruiting his ass off for LSU when we didn't even have a football coach. He was recruiting his ass off. That's why LSU is just different. Lineup LeBlanc says, not sure if you guys saw Ole Miss's new head coach, Pete Golding, is from Hammond. Is Southeastern's old DC and from Hammond. Yeah, me and Chip actually played high school football against Pete Golding.
Pete's a nice guy. I've met Pete a few times. Great guy.
Not sure anybody else in the SEC would have hired him to be their head coach, though.
Yeah, you because you're athletic director, and I know you're going to tell me he's awesome, and you're not going to see the flaws because you're too close to you can't see the forest because you're too close up to the trees or whatever that saying is. Yeah, he fucked it up, man. You should have the Tulane head coach, Summerall.
So we had a comment earlier. Let's see if I can find it from Lilo in the comments, also known as Team Money. Who else is coming over from Old Piss? Let the Lane train wreck the Rebels and bring some other coaches and players with him. So much different than when we got Brian Kelly. Do you remember this, Chip, that we sent?
Oh, no one followed. No one followed Nick Saban.
Yeah, we sent 2 planes to go get Brian Kelly and his staff, and they couldn't fill up one of the other planes. So only one plane came back empty. Today, We filled up both planes coming back. Completely different. And like you said about even when we went and got Nick Saban from Michigan State, I forgot about that. Not a single coach came from Michigan State, right?
No. The couple came the next year.
Yeah.
And a couple years down the road because they're like, this guy's a god and I need him. But yeah, it's like that. That was different time back then, man. They're like, why would I go to Louisiana? I live in, what is it, Lansing?
East Lansing.
East Lansing, yeah. So, I love West Virginia.
Dunkasino, I think I said that right. I'm a West Virginia fan, but anyone going to LSU over Ole Miss is a no-brainer. Like comparing a Hyundai to a Porsche. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
West Virginia people, logical, interesting.
Yeah.
People in Mississippi, not logical.
Yeah, and if Lane wins, if he wins here, or if it doesn't work out, maybe he goes to the NFL. But I don't see another college football job that if he's having success here, I don't see him leaving to go to another college football job. I think the only job that's heads and shoulders above LSU that offers something that we can't offer is Ohio State, and I don't think he's leaving to go to Ohio State.
Probably Texas too. I mean, I don't think.
What does Texas offer that? Yeah, what does Texas offer that LSU doesn't though?
Boosters and money.
But LSU's shown that they can match that now.
Yeah, they got money. I mean, all that. Listen,
hey, go eat your Raisin Canes because.
Yeah, listen. Everybody would have you believe that we don't have any billionaires. I don't know who said that, but it was someone on the media a few years ago. And by the way, I like this person. I'm not going to mention their names. But that's not true. We have plenty of
and maybe it's changed the last couple of years. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago we didn't have the booster money that we do now. So
yeah, well, I know of like 5 off the top of my head. So, and that's just what I know. So, and listen, and the Canes guy didn't have that much money 3 years ago. So there could be a little bit of truth to that.
Don Casino had a blast with Tiger fans when we played in 2010 and 2011. Fun tailgates indeed. If you ever find yourself in Baton Rouge, hit us up.
Yes, one of the most beautiful plays I've ever seen, man. It's been in West Virginia, man. It feels like you're traveling back in time to the 60s with painted American flags on stone buildings. It's freaking cool. It's beautiful going through those mountains.
But getting to the assistant coaches that came over. So I made a list because the reports have been varying. So I made a list of all the ones that I can confirm. Okay. It is Charlie Weiss, the OC, wide receivers coach, George McDonald, general manager, Billy Glasscock, unfortunate last name.
No, I think it's a great name.
Of course you would, Chip. Senior associate AD for football operations, Thaddeus Rivers, the head strength and conditioning coach, Nick Savage, co-offensive coordinator, tight ends coach, Joe Cox, linebackers coach, Chris Kiffin, the senior director of player personnel, Mike Williams, and then their inside wide receivers coach, Sawyer Jordan. So pretty much their whole offensive staff minus the O-line coach.
Do you know who Joe Cox is? The redheaded gunslinger. No, Joe Cox
from Georgia, right? Georgia. Yeah. I knew that name sounded familiar.
Jason.
And then there's Moscona also said that I just saw Chance's comment and I said, don't people smoke shit out of a glass cock?
Absolutely.
I was mid thought and I saw that comment. That's why Grant, that's why if you're still listening, we need you on here because I can't do two things at one according to Zombie Bob. But according to Moscona, that their running back coach it's still very much in play that the running backs coach is coming too. He did not come today, but it is very much in play.
Yeah. So. And I think Weiss could get a head coaching job somewhere. There's no doubt. I think that's a possibility. South Florida in play, from what I understand. He comes from a football-minded family, and he's a football genius. He's a football whiz kid. And great shape, By the way, would you ever thought that would be his kid? Just FYI. You ever thought Junior would be in great shape like that? He must do hot yoga.
Maybe he does hot yoga with Lane.
He's a. I remember when he was really young and being like, "Does not look like one of Charlie Weiss's kids." But
I tell you what. I have a former employee that just started a hot yoga studio. True story. Talk about timing. She started it like a month ago. So she's going to fucking bankroll because I bet you hot yoga is about to be all the rage in Baton Rouge.
I bet it's hard as shit. So
yeah, I tell you right now, I can't do it.
Regular yoga is hard. So hot yoga.
I do some modified yoga just to help the golf game. And that shit, I can't hold poses to save my life.
Great.
Just movement. It's all about movement. What Chance says, what do we know about Savage, the strength and conditioning coach he's bringing?
I know a little bit about him. You ready?
Yeah.
I believe he is an Ohio State disciple. I looked it up today, and I do remember the name. I think he was Florida, maybe. Yeah, he was from Florida. Was this? I think he was the strength and conditioning coach in Florida. It was a shocker that he came. I think he was what I want to, and this is like something I don't know. I would guess that he is from Dan Mullen's group, and I think Dan Mullen, didn't he come from Ohio State at one point?
Yes, so you are correct. He was at he's been at Ole Miss since 2022. Before that, he was at Florida with Mullen, and before that, he was at Mississippi State with Mullen.
Oh yes, Mississippi State. Anyways, he was absolutely highly sought after, and maybe I'm having purple and gold glasses, but I remember people being shocked that he went to Ole Miss. So, and listen, Ole Miss has been tougher than us. It's embarrassing, but it's true. So we need that is. I'm not nothing against the what's his name?
Jake Flint. No, Jake Flint had to go.
Yeah, Jake Flint. Nothing against Jake Flint. I think he was a little in over his head, but do you ever hear people being like, "Oh, I love Jake Flint." Players.
Nobody says it. Everybody says how much they don't like the guy.
How much did they love Tommy Moffitt?
They still worship Tommy Moffitt. And like, I think we've said this, me and Chip have said this 1,000 times. Like, two things can be true. It was time to move on from Tommy Moffitt, and Jake Flint sucked. Like, those two things are different subjects. Like, it was time to move on from Tommy Moffitt. I mean, it's great that he found a second life at A&M, but those last few years, the team really was getting smoked in the fourth quarter too. And maybe it was Ed Orgeron's fault. The head coach plays a big part in that because they set the culture for these guys.
Head coach matters.
Yeah, and so maybe Jake Flint got a raw deal, but every former player who attempted to work out with him, is
the rules put in place, and that might have been BK, but the rules put in place under him, not very inviting. In LSU, it's. I hated on Josh Pate for a couple of years. Why? Because it was hurting our program when he said shit like that, because Josh Pate is that big. But when he's talking about, there's not a gumbo feel there, it was an obnoxious statement, but it was definitely true. And he took all the Louisiana shit out of it. You can't do that.
Yeah. T-Bob, chances of T-Bob telling Moffitt stories is gold. That was a great podcast. The story of Moffitt kicking T-Bob in the rib cage and calling him a pussy and saying, "Son, you're not an athlete." And T-Bob just on all fours, like, "I know, sir, I am not an athlete." It's just hysterical.
It is. And we've all wanted to kick T-Bob in the ribs before once in our lifetime. So,
yes. Ty Graves went from 7.8 billion to 22 billion in a few years. So maybe that's why we've got that NIL money now, Chip. Maybe that's why all of a sudden we're in play.
Listen, we have more than that too. So we have some tech guys.
Kentucky already hired a head coach.
Ooh, Will Stein, good coach. It would have been someone who I would have liked. Yeah, they did, and they had him in as they knew they were going to hire. He was a guy that I was kind of. He looks like, I feel like he's going to be a star, man. But all those, they're all just like Camp used to say.
Never mind, it's fake.
Okay. Well, it's probably who they're going after.
I Googled it real quick, and he was on the short list on 2 different websites.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went after him. All those, just like Camp says, those smaller basketball schools, they're all crapshoot. Sometimes they work out. A lot of times they don't.
I'm going to dunk on Brian Kelly again here with the next topic.
Dude, dunk on Brian Kelly all you want, man.
So remember how we hired Brian Kelly and like he didn't do shit for like the first 2 weeks he was the head coach? Didn't talk. 4 years.
Months. It's like months though before like he remember he didn't do a press conference because we didn't know. We're like, that's not true. He's there. He just doesn't like to talk to people. He's Nick Saban.
Hannegriff knew, man. We gave Hannegriff shit because Hannegriff was demanding a press conference to know what was going on. Apparently Hannegriff knew something that we didn't know. And we were young and stupid and gave him the benefit of the doubt. But he didn't do shit. So contrast Brian Kelly not doing shit when he was first hired, didn't hire a staff. Like Scott Woodward hired Frank Wilson to help Brian Kelly, and Frank Wilson was doing all the recruiting. Like, remember Will Campbell? He didn't talk to Will Campbell until like 4 days after taking the job, and Will Campbell was the #1 recruit we had at the time.
Yeah, and this guy's talking to recruits already today. There's people decommitting left and right from Ole Miss, from Oklahoma. I mean, you name it. Louisiana kids are decommitting from places now.
Yes. They're already on it.
I want my Louisiana players back.
Yes.
Yes. Do you need some players out of state? Absolutely. But let's keep it. And maybe Keys, maybe he comes back because of Lane Kiffin. But I would rather the kid from, and I'll just name a school off the top of my head. I don't know. I'd rather Maine, McDonough 35. Who we lost a kid from McDonough 35, went to SMU. I mean, and maybe he went there for greener pastures for himself, but I would rather that kid than Keys. Those kids want to stay at LSU. They want to come work out at LSU. They look at 83 on our team. Who's the kid from Edna Carr? Dude's a beast.
Teron Francis.
Yeah, that's a kid. That kid was like that kid ran down on kickoffs this week and was like trying to blow people up because he cares.
Yes. The fact that we only had 37 players from LSU on this year's roster, from Louisiana on this year's roster, is absolutely criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kelly said he was trying to bring that back, but it didn't last. He hit the portal with those Louisiana guys.
Yeah, he couldn't retain any of them was the thing. Yeah. So, like, he would sign a bunch of Louisiana guys, but then they would all leave because he wouldn't play them. And so then he just lived in the portal every year.
And God bless Josh Williams. But, gosh, we've lost some players because that's what they would do. They would play the Josh Williams. And Josh Williams is great in his own right. Like, don't get me wrong.
Look at Le'Veon Moss.
Yeah. He was one of those kids that was before. That was like the year Frank took over, right? So Frank was playing catch up. I'm not going to put that one on Frank, but
yeah, so Gabe said, remember when Scone was telling people that he wasn't doing a press conference because he was out recruiting and put together his coaching staff, and it took him 3 months to put together a coaching staff, and he wasn't out recruiting. Meanwhile, Kiffin's already here for 6 hours. How many hours now has he been here? 6 hours, 5 hours? And he's already got half of a coaching staff, probably going to keep the defensive staff by all accounts. He's keeping most of the defensive staff. And so he's pretty much got a full coaching staff, and he's already out recruiting. We're in a completely different world than we were 4 years ago.
Yeah, where he's probably upset that he can't coach his team in the playoffs, and he should be able to. And we were going to give him that opportunity, just FYI, as the media makes us bad guys. Dan fucking Woken, fucking loser. Yeah. But yeah, he looks absolutely happy to be here. And you know what? Maybe that's my purple and gold. Maybe in 4 years I'll be telling myself, man, I was wrong. But right now, this is a great day for LSU because it hurts.
What do we always say? Football's a young man's game. And I know Lane Kiffin's 50, but he's hungry. He just hit the ground running. Contrast that to Brian Kelly, who was 60 when he was hired and was fucking retired from the moment he took the job. It was a 9 to 5 to him the moment he took the job, where Lane Kiffin literally got off the planes like, let's get to work.
Yeah. And I think, and Notre Dame fans tried to warn us. They did.
They did.
As much as I don't like Notre Dame, they tried to warn us.
Line Up says, does LSU keep the path mantra they brought up with BK? Please, no. Please, no.
I stopped watching that show 3 years ago, man.
Brian Kelly killed everything. Me and Lilo were talking about it earlier, that Brian Kelly just killed all the excitement in the program for the last few years.
Yeah, since he's won that Alabama game, man, it has been downhill since.
Saban was 49 when he took the job here.
Yeah, he was. And I thought but that was really young back then. You were like,
yeah, young
that was the problem with your AD, your last AD, man. He was going to hire Grandpa, man. That's who he was. He was going to hire Dick LeBeau as your next head coach. Let's
do a segment here. I know there was a thread on Tiger Droppings, but everybody in the comments, if Scott Woodward was still the AD, who would he have hired?
I got 2 names in my head, obviously, and I think they were what everybody was saying. One, obviously, the preacher,
Dabo,
and then
Chance with the correct answer.
Sweeney, who'd you say?
Jimbo.
I did see some Jimbos in there. I do think he might, because he would have been forced to hire someone young. He wouldn't have hired Lane, because that would mean he would have to admit that he was wrong.
Yes, because he wanted Lane literally, by all accounts, begged for the job 4 years ago when we hired Brian Kelly. Now, I understand Lane was only in year 2 at Ole Miss. Is that right? Yeah, year 2.
I wanted him then.
I didn't.
I'll take Lane.
3 months ago, I said he's overrated.
Oh, I hated him. I stand.
Jimu says Jimbo as well.
Jimbo. He'd have hired Jimbo, or he'd have hired your boy. I think it's
Ben Tramer says he misses the brick wall behind me. I could still go back to the old house and do one more last broadcast from the brick wall.
That and the geckos.
The geckos.
Yeah, that's crazy though, man. Yeah, to think he definitely goes Jimbo, Dabo, Drinkowitz. Those are your 3.
Yes. Or James Franklin. James Franklin.
Oh, you got to put James Franklin in there. He would have been courted for sure.
It would have been James Franklin, Dabo, Jimbo. Who else? Spurrier.
He would have tried to get. I think Spurrier's happy where he's at right now.
He'd have tried to bring Kevin O'Sullivan back to coach the football team instead of baseball.
Oh, yeah. Good Lord, Kevin O'Sullivan. And it just would have been a disaster. That guy, unfortunately, yes, he hired.
Pat Fitzgerald, great hire for Michigan State, though.
Yeah, I do think that was a great hire for Michigan State. Yes, and that's possibly who else would have been there. Met Pat Fitzgerald once, by the way. He was really nice. Obviously, all those coaches are really nice to your face. They're like generals. You're always like, man, those guys are really nice. But
yeah. I also have to play the video from Zombie Bob. Zombie Bob sent a video from Vienna.
How long is it?
It's 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Play it.
Zombie says every day that he's in Europe. I should have played this earlier, so I'm gonna have to text him what minute mark that I played it. Let's see if I can do this.
Cut your music. Play it.
Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Chip, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Well, this is Zombie Bob reporting live from downtown Baton Rouge. It has been transformed with the announcement that Lane Kiffin has accepted LSU's offer to be the next head coach and to lead us to our rightful place, top of the echelon, top of the heap, higher than those steeples there at St. Stephen's We're in beautiful downtown Vienna, Old Town, not downtown, Old Town. And it took me longer to travel from beautiful Utopia, north of New Orleans, through Heathrow, and hear the church bells break out behind me in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as that he becomes even more official that Lane Kiffin is coming. He's bringing his offensive staff. He's bringing his quarterback. He's bringing his nastiness, his trollness, his pettiness, and the bells ringing fucking glory at the news. It's a beautiful day to be a Tiger. Regardless of where you are in the world, it's a beautiful day to be a Tiger.
So there we go, Zombie. How lucky was he that the church bells went off in the middle of his video? I don't think he could have timed that any better. He probably did time it, knowing Zombie.
I don't think he did. I think I don't know. I think listen, Lane Kiffin's going to heaven. Like, there's no doubt about it in my mind.
Is he a scumbag or is he going to heaven?
He's not a scumbag. He's the man. He's a God, dude. I'm so.
Hey, wait, is Brian Kelly a scumbag?
No, I think Brian Kelly's a douchebag and a dick and a Yankee.
Did Brian Kelly kill a kid?
No, but
you're still gonna die on that hill. See what I did there?
I mean, like I said, if you're, you know, it was an unfortunate mistake. Does he care? Probably not. Is he a good person? No. Fuck no.
Anyway, I didn't mean to derail this with Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
This was about Zombie Bob's video.
I mean, listen, yes.
G Moose says
negligible? Maybe.
Alabama just lost a 4-star commitment at cornerback.
Hey, where's he from?
We could look that up.
Listen, they're decommitting me. They're all going to decommit, dude. They're all coming to us. Dude, we're paying, man.
We're paying. We have the coaching staff that actually recruits now.
Yeah, these people are fucking hungry, man. It's not just Frank Wilson that's going to be hungry. It's going to be everybody. And look, if the rumors are true about Ed Ogeron coming back, which I have heard from sources that they are,
the wide receiver who decommitted from
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but he's from Lafayette Christian. Is that right?
Yeah. He
just got fonged to LSU.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When I saw that, I remember when he committed to them, and it's like, okay, whatever. Brian Kelly killed a kid. Why would you come here?
So a lot of talk about potential quarterbacks next year. I'm just going to throw this out there. G-Mo says he's from Gadsden, Alabama. I'm just going to throw it out there. Before the season, I predicted that Bryce Underwood was going to be our starting quarterback in 2026. I am not. I'm too far into this bit now. Like, I thought for other reasons. His season at Michigan has gone exactly how I thought it would. He didn't want to go to Michigan because he knew he wouldn't get developed, but they offered him an amount of money that he couldn't turn down. So he went to Michigan. But now if he wants to get serious about playing in the NFL, now's time to reconsider it. He wanted to come to LSU in the first place. Now LSU is even more attractive than it was before. Why would he not want to come back here? I'm sticking with Bryce Underwood.
You're going to get a transfer next year, an upper class transfer. I hear the Cal kid. He's a dog for sure, but I
didn't think about this, G-Moose. That Portnoy's been crying all day on Twitter about the Lane hire.
Oh,
I didn't think about that's the reason why.
Yeah, very disheartening Portnoy comments lately.
But that makes sense because he knows what he paid for. He helped pay for Bryce Underwood. Is now gonna leave and go to LSU.
I'll tell you what, it makes me excited for any quarterback that comes here because they're, Pop's gonna. That's a Lane guy. Pop's a Lane guy.
He is. But we need him. We need a quarterback next year. Pop.
Yeah, we do.
Houston.
Yeah, we do.
Friend of the program that coached against him last week in the playoffs, or 2 weeks ago now, 2 rounds ago, said that he's the real deal. One of the best high school quarterbacks he's seen.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Pop. Uh,
Chip's boy, TJ Finley, does he still have some eligibility? Chip, you would know better than me.
no way. Was he? He played somewhere this year, though, didn't he? That was never my boy, by the way.
I was a TJ Finley guy out of high school.
Man, I was.
Even though people in the coaching community on the North Shore told me he was terrible.
Yeah, he was one of those kids that was huge as a freshman, and then was like a top 20 player going into his sophomore year, and then just.
And Ponchatoula changed the offense from a triple option team to a spread team to accommodate him, and that was their worst 2 years. Yeah, those years when under that coaching staff.
He could throw the ball.
He's at Georgia State.
Did he play this year?
I don't know. He's probably found a way to get another red shirt in another season.
Gosh.
What's the deal with Chambliss? Does Chambliss have another year?
Dude, beats the hell out of me. They probably don't count Division II now or something stupid. You know, I'm ready. As much as listen, if Chambliss comes here, you're gonna see me sing his praises. It's natural. But I'm ready for it. Like that shit's gotta go. That's a stupid rule. You go to 2 years, it's all college. You go to JUCO, it should count. Like I'm Diego Pavia. I was a big Pava guy like 2 years ago because I saw him play at New Mexico State.
Chambliss is trying to get a waiver. He'll probably get it.
I don't know. You think so? I think they're denying him more nowadays.
I don't feel like anybody's been denied a waiver. Max Johnson will probably be playing quarterback somewhere next year.
That's a kid. I'm so glad those days are gone. But, hey.
Hey, we didn't even mention this. We lost to Oklahoma, 17-13. We're an hour and 7 minutes in, and we have not mentioned this at all. We have not podcasted since we played Oklahoma. Do we want to mention anything about that?
I mean, you had a shot to win it. Your defense kept you in it. I do kind of feel bad for those guys. I know everybody says don't. They're getting paid, but they play their asses off this year.
Kudos to the coaching staff for keeping that team playing hard.
Yeah.
You know, besides Nussmeier, nobody else opted out.
Look, there's some players that nobody's talking about that you can keep, and I think Lane will do his due diligence and keep the players he wants.
Yeah. And here's the thing. You got a lot of that. The O-line's going to be better next year because, A, they're going to be coached by somebody different, and you return a lot of experience. You know, I don't know maybe somebody like Weston Davis leaves, but let's say Weston Davis, Tyree Adams, DJ Chester, you know.
You want them to stay. You don't want those guys to leave. They're only going to
Cohen Eccles, Mabinga. You have like you have 6 guys with starting experience returning.
I haven't heard of any offensive line coaches named. I don't. If y'all have heard anything, please let me know. But
I think James Craig's probably, if the O-line coach doesn't come, James Craig's on staff there. I think he's probably
them. So I don't know if he'll come back to LSU.
Blake Baker had them ready, except for a few busted plays. The idea, everybody who's watched this throughout the season knows that I am a Blake Baker like worshiper. The idea of Lane Kiffin running the offense and Blake Baker running the defense is just literally my wet dream. So I hope he doesn't get the Tulane job. Somebody's going to take a chance on him. He's up for the Broyles Award. He deserves it. I mean, for the defense to finish the season as strong as they did and to have nobody on that defense opt out at the end of the year. You know, they all played hard. They got better as the season went on. Blake Baker did. That might be one of the best coaching jobs we've ever seen from a defensive coordinator.
And people are critical about Harold Perkins, but Harold Perkins played his ass off and he had one leg.
Oh yeah. Angry Capri called me.
That's going to come out. That's going to come out one day that he was actually hurt this year and and he was playing on one leg. And listen, if that guy wants to come back, you take him. Yeah. When they pressure that guy, when someone dips, when he's spying the QB, he's at his best. And he did that all. Dude, that QB, everybody likes that QB. That guy was fucking terrible. against us. He didn't know what the fuck he was seeing fucking goddamn. And yeah, they gained yards because our defense is tired. That's why you have bust. Because they're and kudos to Oklahoma for rushing to the line. That's when they busted it twice, both those times.
And then Blake Baker's a young DC who's only going to get better if he stays here, because his new boss is going to be somebody that he coached against that knows his weaknesses. Everybody talks about self-scouting. Nothing's better than having a guy that you win against that knows exactly how they game plan your defense. So that combo of those two together would just...
You're only going to need a few stops with Kiffin offense. You know that. And I know Ole Miss fans will never admit it, but that's the truth. They haven't been that great on defense. They were last year. But, yeah.
That would be a full circle moment if Perkins comes back as he dominated. Ole Miss was his breakout game as a freshman.
Yeah. And like I said, if he wants to come back, and, I think you let that guy come back. He's only going to feel better. He's going to be healthier. And, you saw, he was good this year. He was a very good player this year. And he was good his sophomore year. It just wasn't as flashy because he was coming in every other play in his freshman year. And they're like, go get the quarterback. And that was what he was doing. And they did a good job with him for the most part.
Yes.
He wasn't an every down player his freshman year until the end. And that's when we kind of started sucking because people were running at him.
Yes.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Can 88 get another year? He's been 1,000 different places too.
Yeah, I think anybody who applies for a waiver can get another year. So who knows?
If Diego Pava can get 20 years because I don't know, but because he makes college football money, I guarantee you they will. If you can apply and you want to apply, go right ahead. Now, everybody on the offense, for all I fucking care, besides, and by the way, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of offensive players I would love to keep. I think with a Lane coach team, all those guys are going to be better.
I got one last topic for you tonight, Chip.
What is it?
There's an Ole Miss fan on Twitter who said they're in quite the conundrum. They named their cat Kiffin, and now they don't know what to do.
I said Nemesis Bates to her.
She should rename it Nemesis Bates. Anybody who knows who Nemesis Bates is and knows where he is currently, hit us up in the chat.
We won't tell you where he's at right now, but I'd be
impressed if anybody even remembers him. Although he had a couple, you know what? He did have a couple touchdowns though.
Yeah.
Of course, G Moose knows. Zombie Bob was a huge Nemesis Bates guy. Went to St. Aug.
That's like naming your animal. Ooh. But hey, we were Nemesis Bates guys. I was.
We were fans.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not.
I guess he got convicted, so it's not really allegedly. But
yeah,
maybe there was a reason. I don't know. I never heard the whole story.
Well, Lane named his kid Knox when he was at Tennessee. He did.
It's a good name, though.
Yeah, better than naming him Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a tattoo. You don't get a tattoo of your I don't think you get a tattoo of your significant other unless it's like your child. You can, but it's a significant other. Yeah, it's kind of
I'm going to have to start, Fred, I'm going to have to start using this on Twitter. Kiffin derangement syndrome. Yeah. I'm going to have to start using that.
Oh, yeah. Kiffin, there's going to be a lot of KDS. There's going to be a lot of KDS from all the fans. Half of ESPN. I know they were on our side for this past week, but there's a reason for that. They're all Jimmy Sexton's all their agents. So, but you know what? Love Jimmy Sexton right now. I would invite him to my birthday party. He's great. We're winning today. You know, there's no reason why any LSU fan should be unhappy with what happened today. It's a good day to be a Tiger, and all is well. You've got as of right now under Verge, you got a good basketball team, male basketball team, not just women's. You got a good football team with a great coach with a chance to be great. You've got a phenomenal baseball coach, the best in the business, I would say. You're great at the big three sports. And if you're good at the big three sports, I'll root for the other sports. If they're not, dead-legging the three big sports.
Well, now thanks to Verge, football's back on track, so nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Well, baseball matters too.
Yeah, basketball matters, dude. Stop.
It does, but it'll matter to me next year.
He's one of the biggest basketball fans back in the day. So
I only have so many things that in a given day that I can invest my time and energy into, and I have chosen the moment that fucking idiot Scott Woodward decided to get rid of Will Wade, I checked out.
And that's your right, but you could I still work for the kids wearing purple and gold. And
I do too, but it's not that I don't root against them. Chance says Lane, Mulkey, and Johnson is a hell of a lineup. I don't root against them, Chip. Do you ever see me rooting against them?
No. But
this is what I tried to explain to John last night. Like, I don't care. I understand that they beat Drake and they look good, and they beat DePaul and they look good. I don't care. Like, until I see them honestly, until they until they play in a significant postseason event, I won't care about Matt McMahon.
Yeah. I think they. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see. They look better. They got a point guard and they got some bigs that can protect.
They've had talent before and they've quit on McMahon though.
Yeah, it's a different look though, man. This team.
I know it looks different. But yeah, I don't.
I could have.
I understand why you care. I think basketball is one of the most enjoyable in-game experiences. As much as I love baseball, baseball is the worst sport to go to. A regular season game, postseason's different, but a regular season game, whether it's a Tuesday night against UL Monroe, or even some of those times those Sunday games are boring as hell. Friday nights are usually exciting, but 50% of the time, baseball games are boring in person.
I haven't
TV.
I haven't missed a baseball game in on TV, which is nuts because there was a time where LSU kind of had a civil war against basketball fans. I'm a basketball fan. I grew up in the 90s. I'm a basketball fan, massive basketball fan.
I grew up a fan of both.
Yeah,
I mean.
I'm a fan of both, but you know what I'm talking about. There was a tiger drop in civil war between basketball fans and baseball fans. I call them the box tards. I consider myself a box tard now, so just FYI. There is some animosity. There was at one time some animosity. I think Jay has changed that. But I have watched every game since Paul's last team because that team was awesome and cool and fun to watch. And I've been a fan ever since. Been watching games ever since. By the way, I grew up a baseball fan. Just FYI, we both did. We kind of lost. I lost a little bit of love with them when during the Paul Maneri years. It was kind of boring to me, and just because what they did with the balls and the bats, it kind of lost its luster. But all is well. Lane Kiffin is a Tiger, and I think he will be here for a while. If he leaves next year, this is all worth it to me. To watch the Ole Miss fans, and I'll never be mad at him.
If you're still watching, make sure you like and subscribe to the videos. Like the videos, subscribe to the pages. I do a terrible job of saying that every episode and always forget. I even put it in my notes and it gets lost in the notes every time. So make sure you like and subscribe to the video if you're still here with us. Lane Kiffin's press conference is tomorrow at 3:30. We'll have more clarity on the coaching staff tomorrow. So we will definitely be back tomorrow night for 9:00. Even though we said we're going into postseason mode or off-season mode, where we'll go to once or twice a week. Right now, with the Lane Kiffin stuff, we'll definitely be more than once or twice a week. We'll definitely be back tomorrow.
Have you heard anything about an O-line possibility besides obviously you said Jimmy Craig?
Moscona said that there's guys that came today that still could go back to Ole Miss.
You mean they could come go back during the? Well, of course, there's nothing signed yet, probably by them, but
exactly, nothing's inked for LSU yet. So, and there's buyouts at Ole Miss. So,
yeah. I heard Weiss is above them.
And then G says got to do a Wednesday signing day show too. So, because my rule of thumb is I don't get invested into recruits until they sign now. So we'll definitely, that's literally signing day is when I do all my research on recruits. So,
yeah, you know what though? Lane's here, man. He's going to make everything more enjoyable. So it's going to be funner to follow LSU. It just is what it is.
Chip, are you watching the Commanders? Chip is a big Commanders guy, big Jaden Daniels guy.
Big. Always have been. Since he was at Zona.
I didn't see that catch. I'm assuming Chip didn't see it either. Missed the Bayou Bash. It sucks. They need to go back to signing day being in February.
They do. There's all those timelines, man, suck.
Every decision they've made about college football has made it worse.
Yeah, how about Georgia and Georgia Tech playing in the fucking the Georgia Dome? That's nuts to me. That should be played on a campus.
Criminal. It's criminal.
Absolutely insane. Just like Florida and Georgia should be played on each other's campus.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't care about tradition. I mean, Auburn and Alabama used to play in Birmingham. You got to that's stupid.
Yeah. All right. I'm hitting the music. We're at an hour and 21. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll be back tomorrow night. Definitely back on Wednesday. So maybe Monday, Wednesday this week. And then we'll see how the week. Definitely Monday and Wednesday this week. We'll see how the week goes, right? Chip?
We'll be there. We'll be here every day. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I'm excited to be here.
That was Tech. Apparently Tech was offered $10 million to play in the Georgia or Mercedes-Benz Dome, whatever that is.
I know, but that sucks. I get the money wise, but it's still
it's bad for college football.
Yeah, but
I think Georgia Tech low-key has a very cool stadium, in the heart of Atlanta with the skyline in the background, and it's still an on-campus stadium. It's a cool. I think
LSU should go to a home and home with Tulane every other year. You guys should go back to that. You should play him at
criticize Verge is the reason we don't do that, but I'm not criticizing.
Hey, he could change it. By the way, I'm not criticizing. It's amazing. It's the best AD we've had.
Best AD we've ever had. He's never made a mistake. He's batting 1,000. We've never had an AD bat 1,000. That motherfucker's batting 1,000.
We're good at every sport right now.
Yeah. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good evening.